Yes, welcome to the second and conclusive segment of Development Focus with Jide on ITV. Incidentally, my second guest will be joining us virtually all the way from Ibadan. We have with us Professor Rashid Olani. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you today?
We are fine. How is Ibadan?
Ibadan is calm. Thank you very much.
All right. Quite unfortunately, we couldn't take you through the Zoom or Skype, but this will just do fine. We want to talk about the role of history in national development, particularly what has history contributed to Nigeria's development. A lot of people said we do not need history. Do you belong to that school of thought?
Not at all, Mr. Jide. Of course, history is the major ingredient for national development.
How so?
You cannot have development without the people, and you cannot have a people or society without experience. So, historical knowledge or historical consciousness are very important when it comes to nation building or national development, because it's from the knowledge of history or the awareness of your past that you'll be able to plan, to have a blueprint or a roadmap for your progress. So there are so many things to learn from the historical past, most especially the way we organize ourselves, the way we forge nationhood, or the way we construct our national identity. Without that, we cannot even plan. We cannot sit down to plan if we don't have peace, if we don't have stability, if we don't have a viable political system. We may not be able to plan. So planning is an important tool for development. So it's only when you know where you are coming from and then where you are, that's when you can plan where to go. Many societies or many advanced countries today rely on their past. They rely on their historical heritage in order to move on. We talk about China today. China is not behaving like any other nation. China is very distinct in terms of culture, in terms of political aspirations, in terms of sovereignty, and other aspects of nationhood. So China is different. It pursues its own agenda, different from that of Russia, different from that of United States of America, different from that of Canada or any other. So the same with Japan. So this national identity is very important. It's one of the key or the engine for national development. And you can only get that through historical knowledge.
So,
in the past, you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
After all, in the past, Nigeria was highly respected, highly regarded in the community of nations, both at the level of the defunct Organization of African Unity, which is now African Union, or even at the level of the Commonwealth of Nations or United Nations. So at all these international organizations, Nigeria is highly regarded. So what is happening today? We need to look back. What have we lost? So there is a need for recovery. So in this process of recovery, the knowledge of history is important. How did our forebears, how did they do it? What did they do that made Nigeria great?
But how will you react, Rashid? How will you react to the someone saying that historians are prophets who always look back? Is that is that a compliment? They said historians like you are a prophet that always look back, not looking forward.
Yeah, we look back. It's very important to look back, to look for answers, to look for remedies, you know, in the past. Because what you think is new today, you know, happened in the past. And, you know, there were measures taken, you know, to correct those issues in the past. So that's why historians rely on the past to seek for solutions, you know, to seek for solutions. So when many of the crises that we face today are not new, many of them are not new. They may be new to non-historians or people that don't have historical consciousness. But for us, many of them are not new. They may happen in a new way, in a new dimension, because of the peculiarity of the situation. But the patterns are always similar. Historians look for patterns, you know, over time. Even if you don't see patterns in your own environment, there are other people or other societies that experience similar things in the past, and were able to resolve it.
Okay, let's look at the study of history in Nigeria. In the first, second republic, history was one of those subjects that were being offered in secondary school. Although at some point in time, this was taken off the curriculum as being unimportant course of study. What's the situation right now? Has it been restored? Do we now learn history across our education value chain, or is still highly restricted?
History has been restored by the federal government of Nigeria. After a very long time of abolition in the secondary schools or even elementary schools. So it has been restored, and I'm very glad that many state governors are buying into it. I'm glad to see Governor Charles Soludo signing making history a compulsory subject in his state. Oyo State has done the same. So many states like that. So it's very important that the federal government has restored it, and state governors are also buying into it. Yes, go on.
Yeah, go on. Make your land on your thoughts.
The only challenge now is to get qualified historians to teach. I could recall that in 2019, thereabouts, many non-historians, those who studied science, agriculture, and other subjects like that, were recruited to teach history, or were made to teach history. So
that's an aberration, isn't it? How could somebody who didn't study history be compared to?
So, it's a misnomer. So it's very important for this state government and also the federal government to recruit historians to teach the subject. Because history is a very delicate subject, especially when it is not taught in the right way. It could create chaos. It could also escalate all these problems that we are trying to address. So, but if you recruit trained historians, definitely they'll be able to teach the subject according to the curriculum and according to the ethics of the discipline. So this is very important.
Okay. Because of time, you are just newly appointed as the head of Department of History. What is the enrollment figure now in your department? And how do you intend to boost that enrollment to incentivize students to pick history as their first choice or course of study? Because, yes, it may be an aberration and a misnomer to have a non-historians teaching history, but if there are not enough in supply over the course of time that the history was abolished in secondary schools, people are no longer picking history as their course of study. And now, possibly there is a dearth of historians to teach the subject. As the newly appointed head of Department of History of the Premier University, University of Ibadan, what do you intend to do in your 2-year tenure to boost the study of history and other agenda you may have?
Well, we try our best to collaborate with the university authority as much as possible to increase the number of enrollment. The issue is that we always fill our quotas when it comes to student admission, so we don't have any problem at all with students coming to study history. So and let me also talk generally, not necessarily my own department at Ibadan. Some departments are fully subscribed. You have at least 80 students at a given year or level. So the problem of student enrollment is not there. The problem is where to go after they have been trained, after they have graduated. So we have enough students. We have, in fact, right now we have so many students who graduated and are waiting to be employed. So in the last recruitment carried out by Oyo State government, only very few historians were recruited, whereas there are so many vacancies. So we have a lot of students who are studying history. In fact, it's amazing that we now have a very huge number of students studying at the postgraduate level. This was not the case in the past. When I was doing my own postgraduate studies, we were always very few to study history at the postgraduate level. So, but now we have a very large class for postgraduates. So, and it's a very good omen that people are interested in studying history even beyond the bachelor degree to postgraduate and also to PhD levels. So, yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I mean, some other time we will look at other aspects of history. There is a lot of areas in history, black history, Nigerian history, global world history, and the interfaces of discipline. History and international relations are now like going together. But this is this time. This is how much we can take on this segment. I want to thank you, Professor Rashid Olaniyi. I wish you well in your tenure as the head of Department of History of the Ibadan School of History, which is the pioneer history department in all the tertiary institutions in Nigeria. I wish you well, Prof, and do have a great day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
And you too. Regards. So that would be the size of our program today. Development Focus with Jide Ojo comes every Wednesday on this channel. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please join us next Wednesday when a fresh edition will be brought your way. Do stay out of trouble and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.